Hey everyone, I'm Jordan. I'm a software developer. I'm super excited to be sharing with you a project I've been working on this past couple weeks. It's already brought me a lot of value, and I'm hoping it's going to bring you guys a lot of value too. So I think we should just get right into it. Roll it.
Alright, so here we have it. This is JRui, and I want to start off by saying this isn't just your average component library that you may have seen or probably even used in the past. I've designed this platform to be an all-in-one development resource for full-stack web development. Now, this is the place where you can quickly and efficiently create a full-stack application that has everything you'll need, like user authentication, protected routes, a database to easily manage your data, and a clean file structure so you're ready to start developing as quickly as possible. And I've done that by keeping 4 key ideas in mind. You've got your templates, which are the backbone of everything on JRui. This is where you pick the tech stack that you want to use, you'll clone the particular layout that best suits your project, and then you'll follow step-by-step instructions to get everything you need configured and ready for development. Then you'll have the component library. This has reusable and customizable components you can use in your project. You can easily install component files, all necessary dependencies with a custom CLI tool that I created. We'll touch more on that in a bit. Then you have the sections, which are basically a collection of components that are put together for common sections you may find, like hero sections, contact sections, things like that. And then finally we have features. Similarly, there are common functionalities you may want to include in your project, things like a dark mode or Google Analytics for insights on how users interact with your project. So these 4 core concepts, they work together to really make this resource a go-to for full stack web development. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you some examples to give you a better idea of what this resource can do for you. Alright, so once you get started, or similarly you can click the docs here to get you to this page, you'll land on the getting started with JRui. So this just kind of explains those core concepts that I was talking about earlier. You can go through here, it shows you, step-by-step instructions on how to get everything set up. This touches more on that CLI that I mentioned earlier. It's really easy to use. You can install it globally or npx to install it in the project that you want to use it for. Gives you kind of step-by-step instructions on how to use that. And then you can continue on, pick the template that we were talking about. I'm going to go ahead and touch on those here just to give you an overview of how it works. Then you've got the project setup. This is how you will actually set up the project that you're working on. So after you pick your template, this here will get you up and ready for installing everything that you need. And then from there, it's just you'll go through the step-by-step instructions on getting everything set up. Again, really easy to use. This is the basic overview of the project structure. Everything's kind of set up around Next.js framework. So if you're familiar with that already, the app directory is kind of how the entire file structure is set up. So super easy to use, but if you're unfamiliar with it, I have linked the documentation down here just to kind of get you up to speed with it. Then we've got our features here that we talked about, the sections again, and then the components here. So that's your basic getting started overview on everything. So when you actually want to use this, you'll go ahead and navigate over to the template section here. So right now the only thing that I have set up currently is Next.js with OAuth and Firebase. So this is my current tech stack that I use. So it's easy for me to get up and running with full stack applications. If this is something that you want to use, we've got this set up here. Goes through, kind of gives you an overview on how you're going to get it set up all the way through deployment. So it gives you just a basic overview on how to do all of that. If you go to a live preview, so after you go ahead and install the kit, this is what you're going to be met with. So you'll get this, you'll install the dependencies needed, and then from there, once you run your development server, you'll be greeted with this page here. So basically this is just step-by-step instructions on how to get everything configured. So you go ahead and go through the get started, you'll create your Google Cloud account. Again, step-by-step instructions, making it really easy so you can get from your basic clone of the repo that you have all the way through to the deployment. So I've got everything covered, step-by-step instructions here, and if you prefer to have a video of going through and actually seeing it done live, I've got that set up here for you as well. So I go through and I set up a project. Oops, go ahead and mute that. But I actually go through here and set up the project live, so you can see step by step me following the instructions on that template. But if this is easier, I've got that set up for you as well. So it goes through everything from cloning the original project all the way through to setting up your Firebase, your Google Cloud credentials. I've got all of that put in here for you. And then additionally, we've got a deployment guide for Vercel, which if you're doing this, I recommend that you do this first. It's just easier for debugging purposes. You know, once you start adding more dependencies and developing it more, you could run into more problems with development. So if you do this and you just continually develop and then push your developments to production, it just makes it easier to catch any bugs that you may have along the way. So that is the basic backbone for templates. So, you know, this is early stages in development here, so I only have this tech stack right now with the docs layout. But essentially, a layout is going to be the same sort of structure, but now you can see you'll follow the same steps to get the project up and running. So all of the steps in the previous that I just showed you, but now we have a kind of a layout that is for documentation. So you've got the docs, essentially it has this layout and file structure ready for you if this is something that you are wanting to start as, and then of course you go through and customize it as you need. And then in the future we're going to have different layouts as well. So common layouts, like maybe it's a blog layout or just a general company business layout, so you can have a good starting point, and then of course you'll develop it to the project requirements as you need. So then we've got the features. I'll go ahead and show you that. So right now the feature that we have set up here is dark mode, which of course we have set up in this project here, but this just kind of gives you an overview of what it is, a little demo, so you can kind of see what you're expected to get out of the feature. And then down here we've got the easy CLI installation. So after you've installed the CLI, it's as simple as running this command. This will install all the component files and the dependencies needed to get this to work properly. Additionally, I've got a component down here that is useful for this. So it's just a theme toggle, so you can easily have this component here to switch between the modes. As we scroll down, you'll see the component files. If you aren't using the CLI, which is totally okay, this could work with any Next.js project or really anything that uses React. I guess that it is based in React and TypeScript. You can go ahead and just copy the code here and then paste it in whatever directory that you're working on to meet your project requirements. And then this is just an additional setup. So once you've run these commands here, these files will be installed into your project, and then it's just as simple as following this here in your layout. You'll just wrap this around the children that are in your layout file, and then you're good to go. You will probably have to restart the development server, so I do try to put helpful notes and things like that that you may run into just for ease of use. I try to make it as easy as possible to use. And then additionally, if you want to add different styles, I kind of just give you a little preview here of how you would do so. So you just put this here in your Tailwind, and then those styles will be applied when it is in dark mode. So that's kind of a features, and again, very early stages here of development, so this is the only feature that I currently have up. I just wanted to get this out just to show you guys what's coming. For sections, again, We've got one section on here now. It's just a hero section, so this is kind of what you can expect to see from the hero. And then you can go ahead and change the viewport here, and it'll show you what it looks like in mobile as well. So you can expect this sort of layout in different sections as I add them. Again, we've got an easy CLI installation. This will install all of the components that are used in the section, as well as the dependencies needed for them to work properly. And again, we've got the files here that you can copy directly and paste them if you have a little bit different structure, or you're using a different type of filing system, and then a use case. So you'll see this structure is pretty consistent across everything: features, sections, components as well. So I'll go through a couple components and you'll see it's basically the same thing. So if we go to the form here, this one's pretty interesting because I've got a couple different types of forms. So by default, we've got just this form here. It'll let you put in your form, give you a thank you message, and then you're good to go, right? So you can install the default form here with the CLI. Again, shows you the component files and a use case. Now additionally, this component here is specifically made to work with the Next.js Firebase template that we've used up here. So if you go ahead and click on this, you'll now see we've got some different functionality here. So it says you must log in and submit an idea. So this form here has authentication in it. You're not allowed to submit a form if you're not authenticated. So in order to do that, we need to go ahead and log in. So we can go ahead and log in here. I'll just sign in with Google real quick. And again, this will all be configured. You'll do this within the layouts that you select. It will give you step-by-step instructions on how to set all of this up. But now once we're logged in, you can see I'm logged in up here, JR, those are my initials. And now it brings us to this form where we can submit it, basically do the same thing that we did before, and now we do this. So with this component type, we now have a different installation here that we use. It's an auth form instead of just the form that we had before. So you can switch between different types of the components and install them as necessary. So again, it'll give you all of the component type specific files here, so you can see the differences. If you want to look and see what the differences are, you can check that out. The reveal is going to be consistent between both of them, but if we change here, you can see, you know, we've got Next.auth and React here in this component. So again, super easy to use. The CLI tool that I created just makes it way easier than having to try to copy the components, create files, copy that into the file. Just makes it really easy to use. And then you can go through here through each of the components. It kind of gives you a little demo so you can kind of see what's going on here. Again, easy CLI installation. But now with this component here, we do have props that we can pass into it. So you can kind of see here, you can change certain things that you pass into the prop. So for example, if we view the animation here, this is what we have. It goes up, there's a 0.2 second delay, and it takes 0.5 seconds for the animation to actually work. Additionally, you can add Tailwind classes here. So we can give it a border of 2, let's just say border white. Actually, I have, yeah, you can see you can put styles in, it'll update in real time. You can change any of these, say we want it to slide in to the right. Maybe we want the duration to be about a second for the whole thing to take place. So you can see now it slowly moves in. We can make this, speed this up, make it go faster. Boom, gets in there real quick, change the direction. And you can see all this happening in real time. So it just lets you play around with it a little bit so you get an idea of what the component can do for you. We can change the child on it. We can, you know, this is an image. So just a little playground here so you can see what the component does. And then if that is something that you're interested in, there you go ahead and install it, and then easy to use just like this. So that's kind of an overview of JRui as a whole. Of course, I'm going to continue to add to this, but it is going to pretty much follow the same structure here. So I just wanted to introduce what I've been doing here, just kind of get the word out a little bit. I want to hear what you guys think about it. So let me know your thoughts. If you've tried to use this for whatever reason, if you have an idea, you can go ahead and submit your ideas here for me. Additionally, if you have a bug, same thing, let me know the issue. This will, here, I guess I can go ahead and show you this. I am an admin, so I can go to my admin panel here. This will show me, ideas that people have. I can mark them complete, incomplete. If there's an issue, I'll see those as well, so I'll be able to take care of those as soon as possible. But that is basically JRUI in a nutshell. So I just wanted to give a brief demo on that. Let me know your guys' thoughts. I'm really curious if is this going to help you out? Is there a different tech stack that you use that could have the same principle applied to it? Let me know, because I'm super interested. I'm really passionate about this too, so I'll be continuing to update this frequently. So let me know your ideas. Thanks for hanging around and letting me ramble about this.